Hello and welcome to part 2 of the Malastare project. If you didn't see part 1, quick breakdown of what the Malastare project is. Basically, I'm going to a LEGO convention and I need a MOC to bring with me to display, hence the Malastare project. That MOC is going to be basically from Season 2 of the Clone Wars. It's going to be based on the episode with the Zillo Beast. Zillo Beast, terrain, tanks shooting at the Zillo Beast, hence that's the MOC pretty much. But I need a Zillo Beast for that MOC, so this week's video will be basically me building the Zillo Beast. So yeah, without further ado, let's build a Zillo Beast. Okay, so I'm working on my Zillo Beast over here. You can see this, I'm working on the head first, and that's because that's probably the most important part to work on. And you can see here throughout the colours, it's definitely dark orange as my main colour. Like, I'm almost certain of that. So if I go back to my first picture here, which is this one, ignore the dog. It's not my dog, I don't know who's barking at there. But yeah, so you can see I'm trying to get this head shape where, shut up dog, where you can see it's got like these two raised sections in the front, and then it's kind of got like an indented bit on the side. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to get the head quite as rounded as this, or at least what I've got so far is this as my head. So you can see it's got the rounded like front just above the teeth, which will obviously just slot into there, into those anti-studs, not anti-studs, just hollow studs. So it goes around there, and then there's the indentation which will go through there with these raised bits on either side, and then the eye is kind of like hidden in under the corner there. You can just about see that'll be around there, so it's in a similar way that's there. Now, at first I was quite happy with how this is going until I looked back at my reference image and realized the head's too flat. It's not tall enough. It's not round enough. I'm not sure how I'm going to get it to be quite as round as that, but I think a good way to change these shapes is by using these pieces, which is off of the 2017 Sarlacc pit. I'm like trying to imagine, like, if I have them here like this, that'll be a bit more rounded. It's not the perfect shape, but I feel like it's closer. I also looked into using dishes, which also may work, but I'm not sure how they'd show up. So I think I'm going to switch out and go with these instead, which means going back to the starting point. So here was head mark 1. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, I'm now halfway through the head of Zillo Beast 2.0, and I'm already much happier with how this one looks. You can see I've kind of got the same distinction there that I wanted, using these canopy pieces. I like the eyes better on this one, how I've got them angled into the side instead of just plonked on the side there. There's a lot of gaps going about, but I'll try and fix those up. You can see it's mainly based around some flex tubes there to get the main central shape, which makes the head a lot taller than the previous one. It's a little bit, it's not as long as the other one, but I can always bring that back. That's not too difficult. I'm not happy with the medium lavender in there. That's what I'm going to use for the inside of the mouth. As you can see, that's kind of a similar shade. So I'm happy with how that looks, even though those I think might be exposed, so I'll try and cover those up. But yeah, there's obviously little gaps in here which I'm going to try my best to plug up, try and get a nice smooth side to that. But obviously these canopy pieces should be much bigger to cover the amount of space that it really needs to. But I'm overall much happier with how this version looks. Right, I am really happy with this version of the head now so far. You can see I got rid of a bit of the colour there. There is a little bit of dark tan you can see one through here, but I don't think that's too bad. I filled in most of the gaps rather than except for the ones right underneath the actual dome pieces. I really like how the eyes look under there, like how I've got the side. I realised I messed up that side a bit. It's meant to look like that side. That's how the jaw is going to be. It'll obviously have a bottom half to the mouth. That'll be built a little bit later. I like how this ends up at the top here. Yeah, so now just to extend the head back and then start the torso as it'll be built down like that. And yeah, pretty happy with the progress. Right, I'm actually at a point where I can almost say that this head's done. Obviously it's missing some nail parts like
This grey section here, I'm not sure how to cover that up. Like, obviously, it's annoying that we've got the medium nougat there. One, that it blends in not too badly, but there just is literally not any clips that come in dark orange, so I couldn't put anything else there. But yeah, those little grey bits are annoying, but I really need them for that angled piece, because it's to get these canopies on, and they keep falling off, and it's so annoying. But you can see I've got loads of spikes in it now on the head, just like the real thing. And I think that looks really cool. Love how the eye looks, how it's shaped with that canopy. And yeah, so that's like the bottom half. You can see I've now stretched this so it's going all the way back down, which will become the back of it. So now I need to start building out the neck. I actually need to think about how I'm going to make the neck strong, because feeling it now, it's starting to get a bit of weight to it. I think due to I really love how I've done this side here, causing these like angles going upwards in the back. I think it looks super cool. We're a big fan of how it looks. So yeah, again, about the weight, just need to make sure that's not too much of a disaster. Okay, I have made a nice bit of progress on my Zillo beast, and I don't even know how to explain it. This is what we've got at the minute for the head. You can see it's getting really big really quickly. So you can see I've built it a Technic frame which lodges into the main head, which is going to hopefully be able to make it hold strong. I can hold it with one hand like this. So hopefully if I can clamp that down, that's how the head's looking. Currently it's looking a little bit, I don't know, cartoony or childish. It might be because I'm missing the bits that go over the eyes at the minute, because they keep falling off. But it might be I need to stick the tongue in. Obviously, these sand green pieces are not going to stay here. They're just a placeholder until I get that piece in medium lavender. I really like how I got the tongue in there. That was difficult to say the least, but I got there in the end. Obviously, more of these arches will also come in to fill out the sides. That's what my underside looks like. Quite really happy with how that turned out. Not so happy with how the underside of this jaw looks, but I think as it's... I've made this Technic frame so that it's like slightly leaning down, almost looking at everyone else who's going to be there. So it hides that ugly underside. So I'm quite happy with that. I might try and like move the mouth up so it's a bit more shut, like maybe closer to that kind of angle, because obviously that's like way too big. Or I could keep it like that and just move this up in the Technic frame a little bit. This is literally held on by two of those 1x1 Technic bits with like the stud. That's all that's holding this in at the minute. Obviously I'm going to change that so it's a bit more secure, but I'm really happy with how this is coming together. Obviously my god tier Technic know-how is of course coming in handy, but yeah, really happy with how this is looking and can't wait to keep going with it. Okay, yeah, I tested it with one of the eyebrows. You can see it works so much better to make it look angrier with that just little cough in the eye. But I still think I'll move this up, and obviously I need to add the teeth and whatnot. But yeah, super happy with this. I actually forgot to record any of this bit, but this is just a picture of what the Technic insides ended up looking of this thing. I added a lot more beams to make this as strong as possible. It's still technically only held in by those two half pins, the actual jaw itself, but it is well supported into the neck and to the rest of the head. So fingers crossed it doesn't fall apart when I take this to a convention. Alright, it's a fair bit later, and I've gotten a couple of Brooklyn quarters in since the last update. But you can see this is how my Zillo head's looking. I'm really starting to cover up the gaps now, which I'm really happy with. Like, this neck's not perfect. You can see a bit of the flex tube down there, but overall I'm really happy with it. I like how I've got that kind of detail in the chest, and then it goes into the tiles and then into the skin. It does look like a nice underside to the belly area. Like, you can see here, these gaps I think will remain as they are. They're not perfect, but like overall looking at it like that, you can't really see it too bad. I'm super happy with how the back of this is looking. I will still think I'll put more details in here, maybe some more of these running up. But yeah, so you can see, so I've got the 2x6 plate and then a curved thing which goes really nicely around. I really love how it connects here. And then you can see on these ones, they've actually got like these masonry bricks, but turned around, running down the side. So it creates a really nice pattern of scales running down there. Super happy with that. So yeah, just need a couple more of these wedge plates. One to go there, one to go there, and then I'll just figure out the side plating of here. And then the head section will be done. I also finished the underjaw. got pieces there. I'd still need to round it out a little bit, but super happy with how this is looking. Also got the right color piece in here for the teeth. And yeah, my Zillo is looking scary. Okay, so you can see I've gotten a bit more down in the neck side here, just as I'm waiting for a couple more pieces to finish off the sides. So I've got this to basically try and bulk it out. This is currently acting as a counterweight. This will eventually be built into the rockwork, which is in front of it, so that this thing stays up and doesn't hit the floor. So you can see in the back kind of how that's held together on each side. And now on this side, I'm going around again with snot bricks to create some detail into here, because it's got quite a bulky chest plate in the center here, where its arms split off, which I'm going to use these for. I might actually move these down to the next one along, because I think that'll be better fitting. Although, thinking back, I may have actually built these so far into this center section that that might not be possible, but we will see. Either way, I'm really happy with how this is coming together. It's feeling strong, like it'll be connected in multiple ways, and I can't wait to keep going on with it. Okay, I think I'm officially in a position where I can say that the head is done, like 100% completed. Yeah, I'm really happy to say that. If you look down the side here, you can see I've done a lot more detailing to this side. Just basically put a big wedge plate up here, filled in all the gaps, made that look quite as good, even though like that piece doesn't fill out the gap wonderfully, but it does it nonetheless. I rounded out the bottom of the jaw, so you can see that looks really cool there. Like, I just look at that and I'm just so proud. I've never built anything like this before, and I'm so happy with how that looks. So yeah, this is of course continued onto both sides. You can see I also tiled off that back, and I think I'm really happy with how that looks as well. And yeah, just super happy with both angles on the side of this thing's head. I think it looks mean, and I'm so proud of it. Okay, so it's a bit later and I have gotten to work on this torso section. You can see it's a bit bulkier, it's a bit wider, because it's meant to, because I want it to bulk out a little bit, that main chest plate area. And yet you can see I've got my studs in here from which the arms will come out. It'll likely cover a lot of this area down here, so that's why it's quite bare down there. But like this front is the main bit you're going to see. And then it's similar on the other side. Spinning it around the back, you can see I added a couple more spikes to the back of this neck, and I'm really happy with that. And I've also tried to make it, no one's really going to see it from this back side. I just need this pin to be able to attach the third arm into there. I might do a little bit more detail down here, but a lot of this stuff, like this is pretty much going to be the bottom of what's seen on the mock. Like where these light bluish grey bricks are basically where the rock face is going to meet. So this is all of the actual Zillo beast you're actually going to be able to see. So that's why I'm not building the full body, and also I do not have enough dark orange to do that. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. I can see that the brown flex tube is starting to show here, but I don't actually think it looks too bad. I really like how I've tucked this side bit like into the skin, so it does make it look like this is the stronger outer shell, whereas this is the more delicate inside part. But yeah, I'm just really loving how this Zillo beast looks. And let's build some arms. Okay, so I built out some shoulders on my little Zillo beast guy. I don't know why I'm calling my little guy now, but there we go. So you can see that's it there. It's nice and rounded with that same kind of color scheme. That goes on both sides around here. They're a bit weaker than I'd probably like, but that's just because limited pieces I've got in these colors, but they do the job, I think, well enough. And again, minor gaps, but not too bad, I don't think. And around the back, they are a little bit worse. I could fill those gaps up a bit, so I'll probably do that. But as I said before, you won't see behind it too much. It's all about this front view. And my plan for the actual arms is basically just going to be a chain of these. This kind of like little module I've made, which is just a couple of snot bricks surrounded one of these mixel joint piece. And then there's the little tooth just to give it a bit more scale. So I'll basically make a long line of those, and that'll be the arms, and then I'll come up with some kind of hand design. So we'll have one of those in each arms, and the Zillo beast actually is 3 arms for some reason, so the last one comes out of its back, so that's what that little hole is there for. So let me show you with the arms on, and I think with the arms that'll actually be this thing complete, so let me show you that. Okay. We have got a look. I don't know why I've posed the Zillo Beast like this with his hands together. Let me move them down like that. But here we go. Here's the Zillo Beast with its arms intact. I'll be the first to say it. It looks a little bit like a puppet, almost. I don't know if just because the arms are so floppy, but yeah, here's what we currently look like. You can see the arms run down here, each with that same design. Obviously, when I actually pose it, I'll be a little bit more careful with it. But you can see they got it in there. Quite happy with how that looks. Not super happy with the fingers and the actual hands. I mean, it is quite accurate to how the fingers do look. But yeah, not super sure of that one quite yet. The third arm is back there. I don't have all of the pieces right now to finish it, and it's falling apart really easily. But just imagine that, like, is coming around the side and just, like... Also, it keeps, like, the gravity of it is not great. So I'm probably going to have to end up, like, balancing it on itself, like, around the side of its shoulder. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, not sure what I'm going to do with the third hand quite yet. Might just, like, leave it out. I don't know. But yeah, here it is with the hands, and that's the Zillo Beast for now, and I'm really happy with how it's come together. Yeah, it's not perfect. I'm super happy with the head. Like this head and the neck, I'm super happy with that part. The body and the arms, less so. I'm happy that the main thing you will see is the head. But I think for what it is, I'm really happy with this model overall, and that's my Lego Zillo Beast. In part 2 of the Malastare project. So hopefully you liked this update of the Beast and to the Malastare project, because this is probably one of the most important things I'm going to build, that and the stun tanks, which coincidentally the stun tanks will be next week. So if you want to see that, subscribe to the channel so you will see that next update. Also like this video if you like the Zillo Beast, and comment what your favorite part about it is. For me, just this angle here, this is definitely going to be the thumbnail picture. So proud of that. But thank you so much for watching. As always, I really do appreciate it. See you next week, and goodbye.